Hi everyone, I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk to you about your hands-on design final because we will not necessarily have time to go over all of this together in class. It is important, and I'm glad if you are listening and reading this today that you are taking care of your grade and yourself and getting ready. This will take a little bit of planning. So, our objective is for you to create a floral design that proves you understand the principles of design. And believe it or not, we have learned all of the principles of design, whether we did that while we were actually designing or through videos or worksheets and the textbook. The two we have not talked about with the beginning class are texture and fragrance, but because I am supplying the exact same materials to everyone, those are a given in this final. But otherwise, you should be familiar with line, form or shape, space, positive and negative space, scale, balance, proportion, focal point, rhythm, depth, color. And if you're feeling like you don't know all of those, just relax because if you've been listening as we're designing, then you have been employing those principles and maybe not realizing it. So you should be just fine. So you will create a holiday design. It's a $25 to $30 value that then you get to take home. All students receive the same materials, a container and the mechanics you need to carry out your design. You'll have 5 stems of greens. Those will be conifers, so needle type of greens, like pine, fir, cedar. Ideally, you'll use 2 different types in most designs for texture. You'll get 3 spider mums that will be white, 2 pom-pom cushions, which will be white, 3 stems of hypericum berries, red, 2 stems of hypericum berries, green. It's like a bright green. 1 stem of baby's breath, 3 red carnations, 3 peppermint carnations, which are red and white mix, and then we put 3 accessories or ribbon. It's pretty difficult to estimate accessories, but we just need to remember that we have about 40 students and everyone wants to have some, so we have to limit a little bit. So design should follow the principles of design. You can break the rules if you can verbalize what you want to do and your reasoning. Mechanics should be sound. Other notes, you cannot have more materials than what are listed here in red, so you need to come with a plan. This is not something you can just wing on the day, and so we have some safeguards set up to help you be successful. You do not have to use all the materials allotted to you. You can bring in outside materials and you can barter and trade flowers. So, for example, if you don't want your red carnations, but you want more white spider mums, you can trade with a friend in class. This is our basic schedule starting on the 30th of November. That's our first day back in school. You will plan your final, sketch, draw, and label at home and bring that to class with you before the final. You'll have some time to choose a container and set aside materials when you're at school. And I'll have another video for you. There's video today about just container ideas and mechanics type of ideas. Once I get some conifers in the department, I'll show you how to treat those just because they are a little different than the typical greens we use. And then 10 days after we take a look at conifers, then you take your final. So we have kind of this big gap. The last 2 days you have finals on campus will be in floral design. In my opinion, that's an awesome way to finish off our first semester. So for grading, how this is done is that you will do a sketch or drawing, a plan ahead of time, and that's worth 20 points. I think that's very important so that you are prepared and you can use your materials accurately. And then the actual hands-on final is 40 points. Overall, those two things, when I do the math today, can drop your grade by about 8% if you get 0 out of 60. So if you were to do nothing of these 2 assignments, it's a drop of about 8%. That might fluctuate. We have weighted grades. We have a few more things due before we get to the final, but that's where we stand today. You have to create your own design and earn your own grade. You can ask other students for advice or for a literal hand to help hold something, but they cannot design for you. If another student makes an element of your design, like if you ask someone to tie a bow for you, you sacrifice 5% of your final grade. That's not a bad thing. It's just if someone else is doing the work, you can't have all the credit. You can still get 95% of your grade on this final, but we do want to acknowledge that someone helped you with a portion of it. So the way this works is everyone starts with an A plus. You will come and show me your design when you're finished. And if I have to send you back to improve it, you lose 5% of your hands-on final grade each time I send you back. So you start with an A plus. Let's say some foam was showing, for example, so I need to send you back to fix that. You're now at an A. If you come back again, let's say this time you have a flower that broke, you didn't realize it, it's hanging off the back. I'm going to send you to fix that. You're down to an A minus, and so on. I'm not out to get you. I would love for you to do well. That feels good for all of us. I think that you'll be ready, and I think you'll do a really good job. So please don't stress about this. There's no arguing with me about your critique. I want you to do well, but as always, I'm going to tell you maybe what could be improved as well as what's working for you. All right, so please come to class with questions and things that you need clarified, any concerns that you have, so we make sure that you feel completely comfortable by the time your day arrives and it's time to do your final.